The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Corner Booth pregame.
Hey, is this thing on? Hello, testing.
No debate, cause they sold. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant.
What's up, Twitter world? There's my little OJ.
He's got an autographed OJ photo.
Has anybody heard the story about the Glizzy guy?
He fits today's generation.
Oh yeah, speaking of lady basketball players, Lola Bunny, bonkable. Yes or no?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Happy Thursday. I am your host, Jared Clem. Welcome to the Corner pregame. Matt is out today. He is currently at the Meadowlands, boots on the ground, rocking and rolling for Jets Patriots, which kicks off in about an hour and 15 minutes. We have a great show today. Our boy Hector is back, along with a few other guests, including DJ Stewart, and a first-time appearance by a friend of mine, McNasty Sports, one of the better gambling minds in the business. He will drop by for our six-pack at around 7:45. That being said, folks, I'm very excited for this weekend. It's going to be a good football weekend. I'm going to have to figure out how to watch a football game while traveling home from vacation, which would be fun enough as it is, but I'll figure it out. Either way, speaking of my Eagles, as I'm rocking a Kobe Bryant Philadelphia Eagles shirt, because I figured that'd be fitting because we need a little magic after last Monday's debacle. Joining me now is my lone co-host tonight. He is a Philly fanatic. He is one handsome gentleman, best hair on the corner booth. He is a comedian. He's made even Shane Gillis laugh. True story, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, he asked if Lola Bunny was bonkable. Chris Lipoff.
Yeah, dude.
What's up, brother? I love how you change your camera angle depending on what show it is.
Yeah, I wanted to go waist up this time.
When in doubt, waist it up.
Digging the shirt.
Redemption weekend this week. You ready? We're playing the Saints Sunday. You ready?
Oh, yeah, dude. Roll Nola.
Let's roll through Noah. And we also have an epic six-pack. But I think this is probably the closest one we've ever had. I think there's only one. There was only two actual upsets you could pick in this, which is crazy. And Matt nailed, obviously, the Friday night one. Which, then again, I know I'm just going to get that wrong regardless. But either way, this man is still in first place in our picks competition. He is our producer extraordinaire. He is a optimistic Giants and Cal Golden Bears fan, as well as a Philadelphia Phillies and A's fan. Ladies and gentlemen, our producer extraordinaire, Nate Wynn.
Hi, I gotta say, Jared, I hate to say it, but your shirt, it looks nice, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man, it looks good. I didn't get me one of those for my Giants, but they don't have any. So
Just Game Changers. That's the name of the website. I saw. So it was like right before right before the playoffs 2 years ago. Jalen was wearing this in the locker room, and I was like, I have to own that shirt. So I literally went and looked up Jalen Hurts T-shirt, Kobe Bryant Eagles, and I found it. And I was like, oh, sweet. And I paid $40 for it, and I wasn't regretting for a second.
Nice.
I get compliments on the shirt regardless of where I go. Like out here in the middle of Patriots country, still get compliments on it. So gotta love it. But joining us now, host of the Insert Name FC podcast. I'm sorry I butchered that. It's been a long day. I've been doing 3,000 things at once. He's a friend of ours. He's a vet. He's a soccer fan. But above all else, he is a Houston sports fanatic. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend, Hector Flores.
Welcome. It's great to be back. Great to be back here on the corner booth.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Good to have you back. This is how much I love Hector. I'm really scrambling to put the show together yesterday while I've been having – my friends just got up there on vacation. We're hanging out. It's been a crazy day. And this dude out of nowhere just texts me, hey, I'm available tomorrow. I'm like, I freaking love you, man. And he goes, love you too, buddy. I'm like, there's one down. I don't have to scramble.
Hector, I love you too.
I think
the feeling's not mutual on that one.
What?
I barely know you, Chris. Kind of weird, man.
I love it.
It's all good. Now, my favorite part about all this is that basically the one part I hate about doing the show is getting guests every week and not having to rely on the same 3 or 4 people. As much as I love DJ and Kelsey, who give us a lot of time of their time, I love bringing Hector on, Kev, Mike Burlon, Scott. Hell, I'll bring in Big Boss Mike if he can ever, not have to watch his kids. But the thing is, it's like it's really nice when I really have to stretch for about out of 10 seconds and not have to worry about bringing a guest in. So that's I guess the best parts of Hector. Thanks for making my life easier. And obviously our boy DJ Stewart's come by in a little bit because, he has to make his weekly appearance because it's football season. But we also have obviously special guest appearance coming around 7:45. He texted me this morning freaking out. He thought it was this morning at 7:45. And then I was like, no, man, it's 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. He goes, oh, great, perfect, awesome, we'll be there. I'm like, sweet. So I'm just really hoping, as apparently my phone's ringing up here.
Could be Howie Roseman.
Yep, it's apparently a scam call because apparently my house on vacation is apparently the only one that has still a landline.
Maybe it's Saquon calling you, bro. He needs a new agent.
Tell him to hang out the damn ball. All right, boys. We have a great show. Obviously, we'll talk Thursday Night Football in a little bit. Our special guest host will be bringing in some special picks of his own. I, of course, will be running picks with Swagoo this week. I am not Swagoo, but as to the person who's known him on the show the longest, I feel like I can at least encapsulate the Paisan in myself to channel my inner Matt. But it's been a pretty quiet day. The NFL injury bug has definitely been going around. Obviously, Joe Mixon's out again, another practice. Isaiah Pacheco out 6 to 8 weeks. Kareem Hunt back with the Chiefs. Still one of my favorite post-week 1 videos of all time when he goes, "You should have drafted me, idiot." Love that video, even though it's hilarious because he got cut 6 weeks later. Thoughts, fellas? What's sticking out to you as we walk into football week 1, week 3? We got Patriots Jets in about an hour and 15 minutes. How are we feeling right now?
Exciting
that game or just in general?
Well, I mean, just about the whole weekend itself. Obviously, we'll talk about a bunch of games. Oh, by the way, shout out to the Cleveland Guardians for clinching the AL Central just now.
Hey, congratulations to them. Whoever Cleveland fans
that was
out
earlier
there.
than I thought. But I will say this, man. I know that it has been great since the Panthers drafted him, but I think it's kind of crazy that they're yanking out Bryce Young into week 3 and having Andy Dalton out there. I get it. The Panthers have not looked great. I don't think it's necessarily on Bryce Young's fault by any means. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think there's some pressure going on over there in Carolina. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers fans are forever going to be haunted at the idea that they missed out on CJ Stroud. But I mean, that organization has so many flaws, man. I don't think it was this. I think the Texans situation was a lot better compared to the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was just too early to be pulling him out like this right now.
It's not even his fault. Bryce Young. There's a video of him, as you guys have seen as well, out there of him. He's walking with his teammate, and a fan asked him to sign some stuff, and you could just tell from his body language and his face that he was just not into it. They messed him up, seriously. His confidence is screwed. They say, "Oh, we can always go back to him." Yeah, but he just knows that if he does go out there back out there again, and he struggles or even throws a pick or an incompletion, he's probably looking back his shoulders like, "Oh, are they gonna take me out now?" Or again, I should say. So it's just a lot of pressure on the kid. He needs a fresh start. I mean, they messed him up bad, especially 3 different offenses in the span of 2 years. 3 different head coaches, I may add as well. So Canales, as the head coach, disappointing job. The owner has been terrible. The whole team is a mess. No run game, no receivers. When Deontay Johnson's your best offensive weapon that you picked up in the offseason, that's saying something. And Xavier Legette has done absolutely nothing for this Panthers team. So overall, just a complete mess in Carolina, and it's going to be a while until they're relevant again.
I saw something. It's a proposed 3-team trade I saw on Twitter. Involves the Rams, Dolphins, and Panthers. So the Rams get Bryce Young. The Dolphins get Matt Stafford to replace Tua for a little bit, I guess. And the Panthers get a 2nd and 3rd round pick. And then I guess the goal for that is for the Panthers to draft Quinn Ewers.
Well, they're going to have an overall pick again, most likely, unless Nate's Giants. Fellas.
We're not gonna be worse than them, though. I'll tell you that.
I gotta say, Nate, listen, you're as much as I crap on your Giants, I don't think they're as bad as Carolina. Carolina looked awful. I thought there was gonna be a bounce back this week. No. That team looked terrible.
I don't think the Giants are as bad as the Panthers.
I think the Giants are gonna have a top 5 pick, but it's gonna more like bottom of the top 5. They're not gonna be they're gonna be a bad team this year, but they have fight. That's the thing. It's they're not a bad roster. Neither is Washington. The problem is, it's just, one, it's early in the year, so let's all pump the brakes here. But the only team I've seen that's actually awful is Carolina. They have weapons, but it seems like the poor Bryce Young is lost. It doesn't matter who they bring in to coach. It seems like they're always missing something. So I hate the move because this poor kid was basically set up for failure. He's basically Fredo. But at the same time, he hasn't shown it. Even in college, he didn't impress me. And I know I'm going to get an angry text from either Cruz or Kevin in about 20 minutes, but the one thing that's always bugged me about it is I never liked what I saw on tape. And I'm like, where is this elite quarterback prospect? I'm like, yeah, he's nimble. He can run a little bit. He can throw, but I'm like, I didn't even think he deserved to win the freaking Heisman. So what am I missing? And now in the NFL, we're seeing it even more. It's he just had a loaded roster on him, even more so than when Mac was him, when Tua was doing his thing, Hurts, all these Alabama quarterbacks. I think Bryce Young was the most evident that this team was loaded around him. That's why he won. But
that's always been the thing about Alabama quarterbacks. You can even go back to A.J. McCarron. But the thing that's different was no one hyped up A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron was I felt like he was a quarterback for at least 3 seasons with Alabama. And, national championships, all those things. But he was never in discussion for the Heisman. It was always, running backs on his team that was winning it. But, it wasn't like anybody was reaching for A.J. McCarron. I think he ended up being a 5th-round pick to the Bengals. So, and I think had a decent career as a backup. And then I think obviously he's kind of killed it over there in the XFL. But I don't know. I think that because everyone, what does everybody know about Alabama? They run the ball, right? That was always been the thing that Alabama has always done. They ran the ball. It was very rare that you even saw a wide receiver get drafted out of Alabama. And now there's more receivers that are getting drafted out of Alabama, and it's because of the fact that, now they switched that offense up to that spread offense. And it worked out for guys like Mac Jones. I think the reality is just college football. It's a different level compared to the NFL.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And we saw the same thing we thought all Drew Lock originally was supposed to, or Matty Monk. A lot of these guys from the SEC, where a lot of these quarterbacks were supposed to be the next big thing. Remember Blake Bortles? We all number 3 pick, man. He had one good season. Even Trevor Lawrence is starting to struggle. Jacksonville looks awful.
His fall off is crazy.
Oh my God. Okay, so I will pat myself on the back a little bit. And you can get Kevin, he's my witness. And so is JD, our boy JD, and Samir. They were here for this when I said, and I quote, Trevor Lawrence has not progressed since his freshman year of college. He has not progressed. That's it. He had that 1 year at Kelly Bryant, and then he comes in. He looks amazing. He looks like he's gotten better. 2019, he looked okay. 2020 looked okay. Drafted.
You're you got a lot of accurate future takes. You're like the almanac in Back to the Future.
Dude, I might just be able to see the future. I'm not sure. I just don't see it in the right way.
Make a take in the future right now in the NFL. I'll bet on it.
All right. The best quarterback out of this class is going to – okay, so it's who? It was who? It was Williams. I was right about Dak Prescott, too. I said he was going to be the best quarterback out of the 2016 class, and everyone looked at me like I was crazy. Who is this year's draft class? My brain's farting out right
Daniels.
now. Daniels. May. Bo. Yeah, okay, now I got it. All right. I've been saying this from the start. This is why he's my rookie of the year pick. I think the best rookie quarterback out of this class will be by far and away Jaden Daniels. Watched him on Sunday against Nate's Giants. Loved how he handled the pressure, the adversity, led his team down the field to get the win. He reminds me a lot of Jalen Hurts meets Michael Vick, where there's a lot of the freak athleticism, but you can tell, like Hurts, he's very composed. He knows how to stand himself in the pocket, can move around and run the ball, but understands that he has to be the leader on the offense. And as much as people want to give crap on Hurts, Hurts wasn't the reason we lost that game on Monday. That was our defense and Saquon's gloves. So when I see Jaden Daniels, he's kind of the best of both worlds of those two quarterbacks, where he has the freak athleticism of a Mike Vick, but the motor skills and the leadership ability of a Jalen Hurts. And that's kind of where I was like, okay, I like this kid a lot. I'm talking about rookie quarterbacks. Y'all see the whole thing, the quote by C.J. Stroud, or what was Caleb Williams to C.J. Stroud about like when he tried to offer him advice, and he's like, "What do I got to learn from you?" I'm paraphrasing here, obviously.
It's kind of funny though, because they're like a year apart.
Yeah.
And, like,
Well,
he's his uncle.
Did he actually say something? No, I know. CJ actually like gave him some advice, and I know Caleb was walking away and everything, but
Stroud got on status.
I'm not sure.
Did Caleb actually say something after that?
Somebody said something to a reporter or something, but I kept seeing this pop up. And I don't know, Nate, can you try to see if you can find this quote by Caleb Williams, him talking about not needing any advice from C.J. Stroud? So I saw this story, and it got me thinking about the whole Caleb Williams situation. C.J. Stroud is my favorite quarterback out of the last 5 drafts. That goes all the way back past Jalen Hurts. Like, we're going to 2019 now. And I loved Stroud. I said, this kid has a cannon. He has his quarterback mechanics and his tempo and his cadence. He's Aaron Rodgers. That's who was my pro comp for. It was not like any other. No, he's Aaron Rodgers. The mannerisms, how they throw the football, the way they effortlessly floated, the improvisation, the slight mobility, the ability to stay mobile but rather throw the football. The game leader, not manager kind of mentality out there. I thought of C.J. Stroud as Aaron Rodgers. That was my pro comp last year. You can go back and check the tapes out here. I look at Caleb Williams. I see a Dollar Tree version of Blake Bortles meets Patrick Mahomes, where you got a little bit of those kind of cool moments where he's like, yeah, scramble 40 yards back, throws it, and he somehow completes a pass. But at the same time, accuracy is atrocious. You can give him all the weapons he wants in the world. His attitude, I don't love his attitude at all. I love how he's talking to Keenan Allen on the sideline, but bro, you ain't LeBron. You ain't like the next great thing. You've been touted as that, but honestly, your college resume was kind of sloppy, brother. You should have been far and away the number 1 overall pick. If I was a Chicago Bears, I would have drafted Daniels first overall, but what do I know? Just predicted.
That's who I thought the Giants were going to try to get was Daniels.
Well, I thought the Giants would go get – the Giants really loved May, and I thought that was a perfect pick for them because they could have let May sit behind Daniel Jones for a year, and it would have been great. Because then Drake May comes in next year and looks like – Drake May scares the hell out of me, by the way. Oh, and look who's boots on the ground, live from Meadowlands.
J-E-T-S, Jets. We love you, Matt.
Don't
trip any kids, Matt. Don't trip any kids, bud.
Oh, my God. We need some context.
I feel like that's sacrilegious as a Giants fan to be doing that. Doing the chant.
No, it's not. How's it sacrilegious when, like, his team's fighting himself? It's not even fighting the Jets at this point.
We suck, man. I need some.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be out here singing the "This is our Colts, this is our team" song.
Oh no, bro.
Same division though, bro. Like the Giants and Jets aren't in the same division.
Well, I'm also not gonna say how about them Cowboys.
Well, that's just different because that's the Cowboys. But
just saying.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I understand. Like my parents had people out here on vacation with us last weekend, and one of the guys actually referenced him on our show. He's like an uncle to me. His name is Uncle Fish. He's a born and bred Queens guy, Giants and Jets, but he's a New York through and through, so it makes sense. Only Yankees for baseball, even though all his kids are Mets fans, which he doesn't know where he went wrong there. But for football, it's all any New York team, Jets or Giants. He doesn't care. He prefers the Giants, obviously, but he'll root for the Jets as well. But it's so. We'll go back to the Caleb Williams thing. I'm not even impressed so far, and it's not even like what I see like flashes. I'm just kind of like, dude, if it wasn't for Tyreek Stevenson, that defense, the Bears would be 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Will Levis trying to literally do his best. Like, how can I make my? Will Levis is trying to be Carson Wentz before Carson Wentz. Just why are you throwing that ball throw? Like it, I love it. Chrissy, he's giving me Vietnam flashbacks of 2020.
It is crazy. It is.
You
crazy.
know, Carson Wentz with his crazy turnovers.
Never mind. Yeah, I know.
Chris is checked out of the chat.
Yeah. So,
Well, listen, without further ado, I want to get into this quick from my guy. So it is time for Bets with Swagoo, presented by the amazing people at Candidates.com. Promo code BELLY20 for 20% off. Alrighty, we're kicking it off. Of course, we got some for tonight's game as well. Matt's pick of the week is Breece Hall for anytime touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson for 50-plus yards rushing. And Garrett Wilson, 4+ receptions. I will throw a little Jared guarantee out there. My guaranteed lock of the night, take Garrett Wilson for a touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw the little story shot there. Boys, it caps off, by the way. Some dude lost his dog over the weekend. He's a Jets fan. There's a photo of him, the dog, staring at the Garrett Wilson jersey. So Garrett Wilson retweeted at him, and he was like, "Hey, man, you raised the dog right. Sorry about your loss and everything." And it was and the guy was like, "Yeah, take Garrett Wilson for plus 75 yards." I'm like, take him for a touchdown plus 100 yards. Like rip it tonight, man. So I have a weird feeling that it's gonna be a fun night. Yes, Swagoo is a saint. Gotta love our boy Matty, even though he's been feeling he's lost in the sauce right now. But that is Bets with Swagoo. Matt will obviously be back on Monday to give us another rendition, see how he did. He also had his picks, which we will read off today for the show. Obviously, everyone knows this happens at least once a year where Matt is either doing a Monday or a Thursday show live. So, but we're good there. And obviously, for those of you wondering what's going on in the background, I figured to kind of add the little aroma to the show, just have the corner booth beat in the background loop. Got a nice little boom bap to it, a little New York style rap music sound, so it works. But yeah, dude, I that's Bets with Swagoo, and I'll get myself at a full screen mode, even though I'm used to looking at my ugly face. So, fellas, let's talk Thursday Night Football. Obviously, we'll get into a little more when our boy, when our two guests get here. But Thursday night preview, obviously, you have the Pats and Jets, both 1-1. Both coming off of nail biters. So, for those of you who have lived under a rock, the Patriots upset the Bengals. The Bengals look terrible, but the Patriots played well. Then they took the Seahawks, who, by the way, Geno Smith is quietly having an MVP caliber season, by the way. Just look at his stats. So is DK Metcalf, having a receiver of the year type year anyway. Went down to the wire. They were able to get the ball down the field, and Geno was able to not get a field goal range. Yeah, our boy is feeling it right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
CJ is the real deal.
And if you're a Jets hater, the Jets got smoked by, obviously, the 49ers on Monday Football last week. Then decided to come in and almost blow it to the Titans if it wasn't for a late touchdown to Braylon Allen, of all people, who looked incredible. What is he, 6'3", 232 as a running back? It's insane. That's a monster. Breece Hall looked good last week. The offense looked a little better, still struggling, but I think that's also going to be like growing pains. I think a lot of offenses this year, because of everyone sitting their starters, you see a lot of like out of syncness. Like even look at Philadelphia. They lost A.J. Brown for last week, and their entire offense looks sloppy. He's doubtful, by the way, but they have not ruled him out, and it's already – I feel like he's going to be a game-time decision on Sunday. Anyway, so, fellas, Nate, I'll start with you. Pats, Jets, how are we feeling about this game? I do believe the line is still Jets minus 7.5, which is insane. I don't know. Oh, they're at home, so -3.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It might get ugly, man. It might get ugly. I mean, both offenses haven't played to their potential. Especially the Patriots.
Yeah.
Their identity is clear, and that's the run game. So expect a heavy dose of Ramondre Stevenson tonight. Honestly, I'm excited to see if Aaron Rodgers can get it going. He's had 2 games with under 200 passing yards, which is not what we are used to seeing from the future Hall of Famer. But hopefully tonight he gets it going against the Patriots defense. That is, they're pretty tough, especially Christian Gonzalez. Excited to see him on the Patriots guard Garrett Wilson all night long. And Gonzalez has been pretty shut down against top receivers. So excited to see that matchup for sure.
He either looks amazing or looks terrible because last week DK Metcalf was.
Yeah, DK was he dominated him.
And Gino was just playing was going to town on that Patriots secondary. I was very impressed. That's why I was raving about Geno Smith because he's having an amazing season right now. Hector, how are we feeling? How are we looking? What are you thinking about this game right now?
I think there's still some questions about the Patriots. Obviously, I think Jacoby Brissett, was cleared the right choice. I remember we talked about this a while back about decision about going Brissett over starting May, and I think Brissett being the 7 veteran let May learn from Brissett, see how he's composed and how he plays a quarterback, get more familiar with the offense, and then when it's time for him to take over, I'm sure he'll be more prepared. But man, there's something about this Jets team, man. They feel like they're in it, most of the game. I'm glad that they beat Tennessee. I'm always grateful for that. But yeah, I think that this is one of those games where we're gonna find out who's really gonna be that second team, because I still think the Bills are still gonna be are still my heavy favorites to win the division. Mm-hmm. But who's gonna be that second team and potentially could get that wild card spot? And I think that this is one of those early indicators to see what we're getting from the Jets now that Aaron Rodgers is actually, fingers crossed, healthy. So
fair.
I'm going with the Jets here.
Chrissy, how you leaning? What's your feeling on this game right now? What's your vibe?
It's funny. I never thought I'd see Jacoby Brissett headline a primetime game, but I will say, teams bring him in to win games. Like, he can win games. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure he was a Patriot previously at one point with Belichick.
He got drafted.
That's where he got drafted by.
Yeah, I think Brady was suspended. Garoppolo went down, or Garoppolo wasn't there.
Yeah,
Brissett stepped in, won a couple games. So, I mean, that's a guy who can win games for you. So, I'm not crazy surprised that the Patriots are able to stay in these games with these teams. I was surprised when they beat the Bengals week 1, but I wasn't surprised when they kept up with the Seahawks. But I will say tonight, I do think the Jets win. I do think the line's a little absurd because I don't think the Jets are crazy explosive. 6.5 is pretty big. I like the Pats spread, but I'm going to take the Jets to win.
To quote our friend who's coming on later, he once told me in the middle of a crowded conference room, be careful of Vegas trying to set a trap. Now, the last time I checked, I believe most of the money was on the Jets at 6.5. I think Jets win and break the streak. But dude, this is going to get really dicey. So,
would you bet against the spread?
Oh, totally betting against the spread here. I think Patriots cover with ease.
Well, the crazy thing is, the spread's 6.5, and the over/under is 39.5.
This game is going to be gnarly. I hope people realize it. I don't know if it's raining right now in New Jersey yet. I mean, our boats usually dropped off, but it's pouring over here in Massachusetts area. So I'm not sure what the weather is down there in the Meadowlands. But I mean, the Patriots are it's not raining. It's dry weather tonight. I mean, who knows, man? It's also the Meadowlands who took Aaron Rodgers' Achilles last year. So I just hope everyone makes through the game okay, because I hate that stadium and despise it. I think against the spread, I would take Patriots to cover. I really think that's a real thing. Honestly, as a hedge bet, I took them to win. Because I think the Jets have a lot of kinks to work out. I think in my heart of hearts, the Jets will win, but this is going to get ugly. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 interceptions or turnovers by the Patriots defense. I think we're going to see a lot of reliance on the number 2 and number 3 receivers in the Jets offense, plus Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. I think Aaron's going to have to get creative to beat them because they're going to just basically double coverage Garrett Wilson the entire time.
Here's a hot take. Lazard scores the first touchdown.
Ooh, I like that.
Former Packer, played with Rodgers before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you had a good point there, Jared, about how physical and dirty this game's going to be. And I think what Gerard Mayo has done with this Patriots team is if they can turn a game ugly, there's a good shot that they can win the game, right? I mean, I feel like that Bengals game was ugly. I feel, that the last game they played, I think, was also pretty ugly as well. I think if it's one thing, I think Mayo, what he's got at the Patriots doing right now is just turning games ugly. And I think that if the Jets end up having to play that way, I don't know if they can, which is weird to say.
That's weird. I would say, I guess, like, they're an odd team to figure out. I think everyone's going, Patriots are going to be a bad team. It's like, in actuality, the Patriots are built pretty well on defense. I mean, they're obviously missing the edge rush. I think it's what keeps them out of winning a lot of games this year. Getting rid of Matthew Judon, I think, really kind of knocked them back that step. But they're still going to be a hard out. I think their Week 1 win against the Bengals kind of says more about the Bengals than it does about the Patriots. I think the Patriots, we know they're going to play ugly, like we said already. I think the biggest problem is how bad do the Jets want to play their game and not play the Patriots game? Remember, we always talk about with Mahomes, it's the mental factor, or the Patriots back there with Brady, probably the Cowboys in the 90s. You were more worried about what they were going to do instead of worrying what you were going to do. I think it's a Belichick quote. And if the Jets stick to their game plan and run and play their game, they will win. And the second you take away that psychological factor from a team, even as long as the team has had a chokehold over them psychologically like the Patriots, I think that is actually the reason why the Jets will win tonight. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get gnarly, but they will win because of the fact that the Jets have a better roster and they have a better quarterback. They have a better running back. Even though it's closer than people think between Stevenson, who's I think is a top 10 running back in the league right now currently, and Breece Hall, who's top 5. Receivers, obviously, the advantage goes far and away to the Patriots' best receivers, KJ Osborne or Demario Davis. Whereas like the best receiver, they would be 3 and 4, third and fourth receiver on the Jets. So yeah, the Jets in there. Anything else you guys want to touch on this?
Wait a minute. Nah.
Alrighty. Well, listen. We're gonna wait about 2 or 3 minutes to get into the 6-pack quickly. I did want to touch on this. Nate brought it up. Shohei Ohtani, first 50-50 player, I believe, in MLB history. Nathan.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
First one, man. Look, man. Everybody knew what Ohtani was gonna do. Everybody knew when this kid, when all these teams wanted him, when he was prepared to come to the MLB. Everybody wanted him, and we knew what he was capable of. And I think this is to think all that he's been able to do, and he hasn't even been to his prime yet. And I think, crazy enough, we're not even in his prime yet still. And I think where Ohtani is at, I think clearly where he's now in a competitive situation with the Dodgers. This is what happens, right? This is what happens when you're with a team that is at an elevated level. You get lifted up from it even more so. So he was already a disgusting player, and now he's even more of a disgusting player. I mean, the guy, I know that there's a lot of people that feel that you shouldn't be giving an MVP award to a DH, but I mean, what he's able to contribute on the hitting side for the team is so impressive that you might even look away from what he brings defensively. I mean, mind you, next season we're gonna see him pitching again, so I think we all know what he's capable of, and but yeah, this kid is unreal, man. it is crazy that we're living in an era where we get to witness Ohtani.
It kills me because I love the majesty of Ohtani, and I can't hate how cool his game is. But he plays for my rival team, man. It hurts. It hurts me. It's like if you play for the damn Texas Rangers, Hector, for you. It's not fun. Okay? It's depressing. The only thing that's cool about it is we knock them off in the playoffs every year. That's about it. That's all I got. Because it's depressing because it's so cool. But I'm like, oh, it's for the Dodgers. Could it be for any other damn team? I would have rather been the damn Yankees or the Red Sox. Because at least then it's like, okay, whatever. I don't have to play them every damn year. It's like, no, the damn Dodgers. It's like having like the greatest quarterback of all time playing for the Cowboys for me. That's how much it hurts.
You mentioned playoffs, man. This is going to be the first time we see Ohtani in the playoffs, by the way. So, because, the Angels couldn't get it done for him. I mean, they failed for Trout, and I really want to see that guy go somewhere. I think I would love for him to go to the Phillies. I think it makes the most sense for him to okay, calm down, Nate. It makes the most sense for him because he is a Philly boy.
Yeah.
But Jersey adjacent. But still,
he's Eagle. He's a Philly boy through and through.
So I would love to see him with the Phillies because he needs to go somewhere he's going to be able to at least see some playoff baseball because the Angels are just not going to be that team.
Absolutely awful.
Like, people complain about Oakland being so terrible as an ownership. I mean, not enough people are talking about how bad Anaheim is.
See, at least the A's will tell you we're not going to spend money on players, but we're going to have good teams every couple of years because we have so much homegrown talent because our scouts are incredible. The Angels throw buckets of money at the wrong guys, like Rendon, who hates baseball, basically, the way he talks about it. And yet they're throwing him, I think, what is it, $250,000 over 10 years or something like that? It's insane.
Hey, man, careful. That's a Houston legend right there.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Even though he did win the World Series against the Astros. But, I mean, at least I grew up around Rendon's time. And, I mean, when Rendon in high school, bro, the dude was unreal. We knew that he was going to be a major leaguer. But, hey, you got paid to do nothing. So, I mean, in some way, that's also pretty legendary.
I mean, listen, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it to almost playoff time, man. One of my Diamondbacks didn't just stress me out on every 5 minutes. Every game, gotta be a damn heart attack. Oh, let's call Jordan Montgomery and put it back in the rotation. The Rockies slugged the daylights out of him. Oh, let's send one of our best relievers down to the minors and our best power hitting catcher as a backup. Oh, okay. Let's do all that stuff. Oh, yeah, the Mets are still surging. I need Nate and Chris's boys to just stomp them out like a bad stain because if they don't, I'm going to have the roughest weekend out here before I go back home.
Ohtani's at 51, by the way. He just hit 51.
Who? Oh,
Ohtani.
I mean, at this rate, might as well go for 60.
Philly's down 2-zip. Not surprised. Walker's pitching.
Oh, yeah. Now, just move on to tomorrow.
Yeah, I already called it now with Walker's pitching.
Move on tomorrow, bro.
Oh, damn.
We'll focus on tomorrow, man.
We're up second right now, so it's going to be good. But, boys, it is my great honor to introduce a friend of the show, a friend of mine. I got to meet this nice gentleman at the Fantasy Football Expo in Canton, Ohio. He is I believe, the founder of McNasty Sports. He is a man who knows his way around Vegas and betting and Please welcome our friend, Nasty.
What up, everyone? What up, boy?
I love it, brother. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Thank you. Sorry, I was under the impression of a million different things. Just moved to Nashville, so I changed time zones from the East Coast to Central. So I'm just getting caught up with everything.
No, I appreciate it, man. That's on me for not being completely clarifying with everything. It's kind of the problem for me is I'm actually on vacation doing this show. That's how much I love doing this and trying to communicate that. I got people calling me, texting me, "Why aren't you doing this?" I'm like, I'm on vacation, bro. The only thing I do for work still is this. Everything else I kind of throw out the window. But man, I'm happy to have you on today. Obviously, we got a good game with Thursday Night Football. The boys here, I was trying to tell them what you told me back in Canton about when Vegas is telling you something with the money line, and I told them they're telling you something with tonight's Jets Patriots money line, obviously, with it being 6.5 right now in favor of the Jets. And they're like, it's an ugly game. I don't know. And I'm like, just wait. Our boy's going to spit some knowledge on us. So, how you doing, man? What do you got for us Thursday? Thursday football is going to look crazy.
Yeah, just so you guys know a little background with me, I've been almost doing this 30 years, okay? I mean, I'm talking about doing it from a young DGen before there was even sports books, apps, computers, even computers. I mean, computers started coming around when I was in high school. So I've known my way around this thing for a while. I worked in Vegas on both sides, so I've been on the DGen side and I've also been on the sportsbook side. So what he's talking about is Vegas. I have a lot of friends from back in the day that were actually bookmakers or the line setters, whatever you want to call them. And so what will happen is they're using the psychology of especially in the NFL and college football, but the psychology of the line to manipulate what we feel and what we're leaning towards. So an example, if a home team, and now listen, don't take this just on an auto take. This is just a good starting point on where you should start looking on where you like something. So for an example, a home team, if a home team that is favored is set at -2.5, -6.5, -9.5, -13.5, and it kind of goes so on depending on how big the spread is. But usually those are the key numbers. They're kind of telling you psychologically all they have to do is get to that key number, which we all know is a field goal, a touchdown, a field goal and a touchdown. And it kind of makes you feel better to jump onto a side, okay? And so tonight is a prime example. Now, I'm not saying that it always hits. It's just a good spot to start, and especially if a lot of money's coming on that line and the line isn't adjusting for the money coming in, you might want to worry at that point.
All right.
So if you guys have any questions, I could elaborate a little bit more.
Definitely. It's good to meet you, sir, by the way. It's good to meet you.
Hey, what's up, brother? What's up?
So, Nate, you got a question for him?
No, not right now, man. I'm excited for our six pack for sure. And
okay. So basically, let me elaborate myself on it then. So basically, and if you ever do take a dog on that spot, that is another good spot, or a favorite that's on the road. This is where I start to lean that I really like something. If I see, before I look at any line, I look at the match, right? And I go, okay, this doesn't make sense. This team should win. And then I look at the line, and if my favorite is a road favorite, and they're over that key line, which is -3.5, -7.5, -10.5. It gives me a little bit more confidence in what I was already feeling as a human being or a sports player or, even a gambler, that I'm on the right track or the right line. So the other thing you got to always worry about is never know anything you've seen last week isn't going to happen this week. So if a team has ever looked that bad before or that good before, always know that's not going to translate to the next week. It just doesn't happen that way.
Fair enough. I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Jets are currently leading in bets placed, according to the DraftKings right now, at 64%.
Sure.
So when you talk about like what is Vegas like, so that correlating to the fact that they're a home team is 6.5-point favorites. But do you even factor in the history and the fact that the Jets, I believe, have lost? I don't know if it's still straight or it's going back to almost 2007 or 8, where I think the Patriots have not lost or have only lost a handful of times to the Jets, where they own them as a football team. Do we still keep that psychological part in fact when we look at this game at all, or do we kind of try to stick to what's brass tacks in front of us?
I like to look at what's in front of me because, listen, coaches change, players change, quarterbacks change, schemes change, the way the rules change the game. So, I mean, it's hard to go like, the reason those numbers are there is because Belichick and Brady were involved, and they were the ones that were just controlling the Jets, who have been horrible for the last decade, really, right? So those numbers are skewed. So I don't really look at data based on two teams. I will look at historical data when it comes to the whole of the NFL, but not so much two teams playing each other based on the last, unless everything is in the same place, like head coach, quarterbacks, pretty much everything of the key elements of a football team are in the same place, then I might take it into consideration.
Okay. So at this game, I'm going to open up to the floor to you, my friend. Maybe it's because
Yeah.
impressed by the Prime jersey, the Atlanta Prime jersey, which is just so clean, or the Giants.
Thank you.
Backgrounds. But
Yeah.
let me say with this, I'm gonna leave the floor to you. We've kind of been split decision tonight. I end up taking the Jets because I believe that they just have the better roster, the better leadership at quarterback, regardless of what's happened in the past. It may get gnarly and nasty, but it's not raining at the Meadowlands tonight. And the Patriots don't have the firepower on the outside to match the physicality plus firepower the Jets have. So I took the Jets.
Sure. Yeah. And just to go back one small step backwards is you brought up the money, where the money's placed, how many bets are placed. You go back to Monday night game, prime example, the Eagles. The Eagles were getting 98% of the money. I don't care where you went and looked, the Pickett app, DraftKings, all the data was supporting the exact same thing. So if you were on the Eagles, you might as well go outside, lay your head under the tire and hope someone backs up, because I would never, ever, I would take the points, and I don't care. I would rather walk away from a game than jump on that heavy of a side where that much money and that much bet slips are on one team, especially in prime time.
Yeah, and as an Eagles fan to begin with, that game hurt enough as it is. I don't even care about the that Saquon Barkley drop, my heart sunk. But listen,
yeah, it's all live.
It's talking to you, obviously, we're at the conference and everything else, and about Joyce in a minute, who's also was at the conference with me as well. One thing I did take away what you talking about is use your knowledge, but also don't bet blindly. So
for sure.
Honestly, I bet blind with the Eagles. That's my squad.
Yeah.
I'll throw $1 or $2 on them.
I bet drunk too. I mean, that's a bad thing. I'll throw 50 on them, when I'm drinking, and I'm then they lose.
Chris, you were also at the game in the stands. I mean,
I no longer, for the last 20 years now, people always ask me, I have probably about 400 jerseys. And everyone goes, Nasty, who's your team? I'll tell you what my team is. It's my fucking money. Because at the end of the day, when these NFL players go to their $1 million mansions and they fly all over the fucking world, banging badass bitches, I need to still have money to survive over here in this fucking world. And so I don't have a team. I just like players. I do like the Eagles. I like the Lions. I root for them if I have to. But when it comes to my money, I'm only doing sharp movements with my money.
All right, Mr. Nasty, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So, because you were talking about earlier, and about heavy favorites and a lot of the money relying on one team.
Sure.
So, given that Jared brought up that a lot of the money's on the Jets -6.5 tonight, would you go with New England +6.5 and go the other way?
No, not. And now listen, guys, when I start really valuing where the money is when I start seeing 80, maybe 77, 78% of the money, 80% of the money. That's when I really start going okay, there's enough money here. But right now, I think there's enough value on both sides that money or tickets, the line is moving up and down accordingly. So I've seen it move down to 6. I've seen it go back to 6.5. So that's a good sign. That means that the sports books are trying to balance their books. And when you see the big sports books moving the line up and down, they're not afraid of anything, that they're trying to balance the books. I mean, it's a good indicator for us on whoever side you want to back at this point.
Okay.
Awesome. I was about to ask the same question. I was is there a certain threshold before you start leaning towards that? That's awesome.
I'm more towards 80% and more, around there. And then I started, the second question I asked myself, is the line moving? If the line's not moving, I know you guys know about reverse line movement and stuff. I don't really look at that and use that phrase. I just want to see that the line is bouncing around. Because if the line's bouncing around, that means something's right. The Eagles game, nothing was moving and all the money was on them. The books didn't care that the books were balanced? And listen, I worked for the sports books in Vegas. Trust me, I've been in enough meetings where they're trying to balance books, or a big player come to the ticket window, drop a big amount of cash. You got to get it approved. When you go to get it approved, they want to see, hey, are we going to take this liability or should we let it just bounce around? You know what I mean? So I don't care whoever tells you, I've worked in Vegas, they try to balance the books on both sides, because truly They don't care who really wins or loses. They just want to make sure that they clear that juice money at the end of the day.
It's all about the money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to the original question, though. I myself, boys, I'm going to give you 3 plays on tonight's game that I truly love. I have a bunch of other little sprinkles everywhere, but my first play is I'm taking the Jets minus 5.5. I bought when it was at 6, I bought it down to 5.5 just so I could get that little 26-20 fucking play just in case it comes in. I had to pay minus 125 for that, but I am on the Jets. And then my second play, just because I made a ton of videos about this, I don't think the Patriots match up. I think they've hit their ceiling in the last 2 games. I think this could be a 24-27 to 13-10 game. I think the Patriots, if they let the Jets get too far ahead tonight, they don't have the firepower to abandon the run and say, let's just fucking catch up with these guys. I don't think so. I think the Jets roll tonight. So my second play is I did an alternate line Jets minus 9.5 for plus 150 because I truly believe that the Jets take off on these guys around the 4th quarter and the Patriots ain't built to fucking catch up. So that's that play. And then the third play, Garrett Wilson, you can't be the number 1 fucking option, one of the best receivers in the league, and not have a touchdown. So I put a 1 unit on him to get a touchdown, maybe, and I sprinkled 2+ touchdowns at plus 1,000. I mean, this could be the game for him.
It's like we had the same notes. I learned
I'm telling the shit out of you, Mr. Nasty.
What's that?
I'm tailing the shit out of this play, Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Listen, guys, I've been doing this a long time. I'm my biggest cheerleader, but I think that if I always find a way to sniff some money out, it might not be tonight, but the thing that I'll never do, and I tell all my subscribers, because I have over 15,000 subscribers on all platforms, I tell them, guys, I'm never going to change who I am. I'm never going to change how I look at a game. And if I just apply what I know and how I know it, I will find money by the end of the season. What's going to happen, watch. What you're going to see you're going to see an overcorrection of what happened last week. Everyone saw that the favorites got hammered. So everyone this week is going to zigzag and try to catch dog money, and the favorites are going to probably roll this week. That's always what happens. I tell people, never zigzag. Just stay true to what you like.
I absolutely love that advice.
Yeah, thanks.
Before we go into the next games, we got to introduce our other guest. He also is at Fantasy Expo with me and Mr. Nasty. He is the host of High Low Sports. He is Hunter Renfrow stunt double, and he is one of the smartest men I know when it comes to football. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Stewart.
The gang's all here. Glad to be back, everybody.
Oh, what a beautiful mic. That's a beautiful. You got some good vocals on that mic.
Hey, thank you. We call this Amazon discount for my birthday, Mike.
I like it.
Mine's basically a prop right now because apparently StreamYard doesn't want to recognize my microphone anymore. So after the show ends, I will be either throwing this thing out the window into the Vineyard Sound or figuring out how to rewire this. We'll figure it out. But DJ, happy to have you, brother. Just missed it. Nasty, of course, you're in the back. So you guys watched it. Gave us a couple some good heat for, of course, Thursday night game. Before we move on to the 6-pack, my friend, where are you leaning tonight?
So I'm in the same boat as I don't really want to bet this game a whole lot because I don't like the line as much. That 6.5 is goofy to me. I don't know why. What I do like in this game, I like the under. At 39, I could see it very easily being 24-10. The Jets comfortably win, which means you get an under because I'm in the same boat as Nasty. I don't think the Patriots are going to score a lot of points today. Either it's going to be a close dogfight and they both are going to suck, or the Jets are going to roll them, but they're not going to score enough to cover the over themselves. So I like the under in this game personally.
Awesome. All right. We're moving into a little college ball. We're going to get started. We have a Friday night game. Matt already picked this as his upset, by the way. I'm just going to get that out of the way now. He called dibs on it. I don't like this play. It's a weird game to me. Friday night Big Ten. It's a weird matchup. Dylan Riolo, Baby Mahomes versus that Illinois defense, which always plays top-notch. They always produce good players. There's kind of this new resurgence of Illinois football the last 3 years, which has kind of been nice to see. I will stick with Nebraska because I am a big fan of Matt Rule. I'm a big fan of Riolo. They walked into Colorado, and that game was not as close as it looked. I don't care it should have been even uglier. We talked about it. I believe it was the last time you were on, DJ. Colorado, who is like, I guess is just this, I can't make heads tail of them. Nebraska looked like a complete football team. And Matt Rule is doing what he did for them, what he did at Baylor. I love Raiola as a talent. I don't think Illinois has, like similar to the Jets-Patriots game tonight, I don't think Illinois has enough firepower to keep up with Nebraska, who can clearly score points in a hurry, and it's at home. If this was in Illinois, if this was at Illinois, I would say, watch out, upset alert. Nebraska's at home. It might get ugly for a little bit, but Raiola is the truth. Matt Rule knows how to coach quarterbacks in college. I'll go against my co-host here, who's currently at MetLife. I will take Nebraska. So, D, do you want to take hacks of this? Nasty, any of you guys, anybody's open to this, I will allow the floor to be open here.
I'm rolling Nebraska.
What? Yeah. What did the line open at? Just out of curiosity.
When I checked yesterday, it was a 7.5. It just went up to 8.
Yeah. I with it being 7.5 and everything that I just spewed to you guys, and you have a 22 ranked against a 24, but the 24 is ranked at home. Favored at home, and it was the 7.5. I was already leaning Nebraska no matter what the line came out. And this is a same case in point as tonight. I think Illinois will play tough. I think they'll have their moments, but Nebraska is just a better team, and that place is going to be fucking rocking. And I'm going to drop some money on Nebraska. I think they win by 10, maybe 2 touchdowns at this point.
I don't know if you guys saw, but when they had I think it was Will Compton from Boys, the Van, whatever the hell the Barstool podcast.
Bustin' with the Boys.
Bustin' with the Boys. He did the intro video against Colorado. Everyone's told me Nebraska has kind of had always this great atmosphere, but being a Miami Hurricanes fan, the only thing I knew about Nebraska was we stomped them back in 2001, and they've kind of been back except for the Dominican Sue year. I watched that intro walkout when the players came out on the broadcast. Dude, my TV was shaking. They couldn't sound control it loud enough. So I am a firm believer in that Nebraska has an amazing home, and like Nasty said, it's going to be rocking. So, Nate, you're the leader right now. You're still up, I believe, by 7 or 8 over Chris and Matt. I killed your hot streak last week, buddy. Where are you going this week?
Yeah, I'm going Nebraska, man. I'm really happy to see what Matt Rule has done with Nebraska after his failure in the NFL. He's an excellent coach. Raiola is one of the most intriguing prospects in the college football world, man. So with that said, I'm going Nebraska, man. I'm going, with the 24th ranked team in the nation.
Hell yeah, man. Hector, how we feeling, dog?
Yeah, man. I'm going with Nebraska. I think it's great to see Nebraska back now. Dylan Raiola. Some people think it's weird. Some people don't. That he's copying Patrick Mahomes, but he also was coached by Patrick Mahomes' personal quarterbacks coach. So I think that probably answers everybody's question on that one. But yeah, man. This team is playing, and that kid is a true freshman, man. Way he's been playing,
look like a freshman. That's what scared him.
Yeah,
he's 18. He's throwing the ball like this. Incredible. Deej.
I'll sound like the broken record. I'm going to take Nebraska. I think they cover too. I lived in the Midwest for a few years. Those home crowds, when that team is good, they hit differently. They run out of the cornfields and they get rowdy real quickly. So that place is going to be absolutely electric.
I love it. All right, Chrissy, we clean sweeping here, all 6 of us?
Yeah, I'm taking Nebraska.
I love it. All right, so we have –
And just so you boys know that it is 50-50 on the spread right now. So – that's pretty good. There's a lot. They're 87% money, but that's just everyone parlaying them with everything else. So I'm not too worried about that. But the 50-50 is a good sign.
I do like the 50-50, especially now you got me always now you got me thinking the back of my head, especially when you talked about the Eagles-Falcons game last week, where it was around 90% Philadelphia bets or more on every sports book, which should have scared the daylights out of me. But blinded by a love for my team, I guess. All right. This game, I don't know what to make of this game. We got 2 more college games, or we could do pros. Nasty, I know you said you want to drop 3 pro games. So
sure.
So which games did you see on the list I sent you that you like to talk about? Because we'll kind of go in your order tonight.
Well, if anyone's interested in any money really quick, and this is this is just before us or whoever's watching. I don't even know if any of you guys have some viewers right now, but South Alabama's up 14-0. The books are basically giving you at minus 200. I would drop that with the Jets right now and drop a few units on that because Appalachian State isn't going to come back 2 weeks in a row. They barely came back last week, and they're in a major hole right now, 14-0. They're not going to come back in this game.
All right, I'll take that easy action.
Yeah, I'm jumping on it right now. So wait, just so you know, what was the question? Some NFL. I got a few NFLs.
I know you want to hit some NFLs. You said you had three ones for me for this weekend. I wanted to kind of let you dictate this one because you are the guest of honor tonight.
Sure, no problem. Just so you guys know, also, I'm in the circa millions. Right now, I'm 1 point away from being in the top 10 with over 20,000 entries. So last week, I went 5-0 in the NFL. This week, I'm going to try to be a little sharp. I'm going to stay more so on the favorite side, but I do see some value. I'm just going to tell you what I'm leaning right now. I am leaning the Vikings at home +2. I think they're a very live dog at home. I just like them in the spot. I think they're getting undervalued at home at this point. And so I do like that. I'm leaning that way. One play for sure that I'm hammering is I think the Eagles are completely overrated at this point because without A.J. Brown, that offense looked horrible. Even though they moved the ball, but it was more it was more broken plays and just, backyard football, making shit happen. But as far as their defense, it looked like they were getting shredded at any point. So I can't trust the Eagles to go on the road and even cover a small spread at this point. So give me the Saints. I got them at -1.5. I think it's gone up to 2.5. So I do love the Saints at this point. My next play, and these are just ones that I'm going off the top of my head that I'm leaning towards my circa picks, is the Ravens -1 on the road is almost comical. They're 0-2, and Vegas is begging us to take them on the road. I think Dallas finds a way. I think Lamar and them week 3, you'll see Monday day quarterbacks all over the fucking internet and TV talking about what the hell's going on with this Ravens team when they're 0-3. But I think Dallas rolls. I think Vegas is begging us to take that one, and I'm not buying it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take Dallas for sure on that -1, -1.5, whatever. I might take them money line but in the circa contest, I have to take the +1, +1.5, whatever it is at this point. But another one is the same thing with the Colts. It seems like they're begging us to take the Colts this week. Let me see. I just don't want to talk out of the side of my neck because I'm over here. Let me see. What was another one? I do like the Titans, even though that line is a little weird. I think they should be more -3. The Colts, like I said, I could see them starting 0-3. The Bears, they're begging us to take the Colts at this point. I mean, they're 0-2 and at home. I mean, I could see the whole world saying these guys have got to win. The Bears, who are the Bears? They haven't looked that great, but I could see the Bears going in there and winning. So let me see. The Saints. Same thing. Chargers, even with a beat. Who in the hell is Pittsburgh? Are they going to just win? I'm telling my guys, are they going to just keep winning games, kicking field goals? If somehow the Chargers get up to 21 points, I can't see even 17. I can't see the Steelers keeping up. I don't know what's going on here.
On tape, they make no sense. By the way, we've had this conversation before. I'm a tape nerd all the way. I don't know if DJ, if you see anything with they just rush the passer, and then on offense, they just try not to lose the football. They play literally what they told us to do in high school. It's just, hey, don't give the ball back, and we'll win the game because their defense is that legitimate. So I guess that's the best explanation for it is they will lock your team up, and then they just have to score 1 or 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
No, for sure. Yeah. And my last play, guys, is I don't think it's an overcorrection. I think the Bengals will figure it out. Vegas has them -7.5. So just like I was saying before, they put the hook on the other side, meaning psychologically everyone sees 0-2. They're missing a key receiver. Can they get it done? I think they do. I think they win by maybe 17 points at home, and they just figure it out, and they become 1-2 on the week.
Okay. I love it.
So those are my takes for the week.
The Eagles would hurt my feelings a little bit, but I understand because in this industry, we can't have feelings. We just have to have logic. The A.J. Brown thing, when I saw that during the game, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a rough couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Saints team shows up, because on tape, they don't make sense. Their offense is so simple. There's a lot of motion, a lot of deep shots. It also looked like Dallas just came out flat. Now, so you talk about overcorrections. The one thing I want to see is Dallas going to come out and punch Baltimore in the mouth, because that game, that whole game with New Orleans and Dallas last week affects 2 games in their 6-pack this week, which are both Ravens at Cowboys, Eagles at Saints. The one thing I watched that game twice. I went through and watched on all 22, and the one thing I kept noticing was the Saints receivers were getting free release and getting down the field, and Carr had enough time to get back and let it loose because they were so worried about Kamara running the football. Now, is Philadelphia going to stop the run? They couldn't the last 2 games, so that's the kicker. But
yeah, and just so you guys know, and sorry to interrupt you, I'm not taking the Saints based off their offensive performances. I'm taking the Saints because they're at home, and I think the Eagles are not. I don't know if they know who they are. I don't know if you always hear the pros talk about identity. I think the head coach is all over the fucking place. He's another Dan Campbell, just sporadically doing wild shit. So give me the Saints at home. I don't think they blow them out like they've been doing everyone else, but I think they win by 5, 6, 7, somewhere around that range, maybe even a field goal, and I'll take it.
I agree. I agree, because my biggest problem is that this spread is too close to not almost be. That if it was 7.5 for the Saints, which I thought it was going to be after how Philadelphia lost, I would have taken the Eagles because they're going to keep it close. We know they will, but it's also going to matter of which Eagles defense shows up.
Right.
So I don't know if Vic Fangio has realized he has defensive personnel, or the Eagles might actually get a sack for the first time. I don't know. It's weird.
Just so you know, Vegas will never give you a top name team, Dallas, Eagles, 49ers, as a bounce back spot, a lot of points. They just, because all us DJs, we always say, oh, they're going to bounce back. Oh, they're going to bounce back, and so they'll adjust the line for the thought of a bounce back. And, it is a little scary line, but I just think that I think the Saints will figure it out. I think I could see them winning at home and just, getting a field goal and packing it up.
All right. Awesome. Hey, Nasty, man, it has been an honor having you on tonight. It's been a pleasure seeing you.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Listen, before we let you go, we always give the guests the opportunity to plug all their content. So we'll put your solo for a second. Let us know, the amazing people at home, where we can find you.
Yeah, sure, guys. I appreciate everyone. Thank you guys for letting me come on, and I'd be a guest at any point if you guys allow me to. My name is Nasty from McNasty Sports. If you just hashtag Nasty, because I always do McNasty Sports on all my socials, you'll find me. I'm always changing my names just to trick the algorithm as far as but my main name is Nasty, and I always do the hash marks of McNasty Sports. But if you want to get all my picks and plays, I'm at SoBet.io. Use the keyword nasty, and you can get all my picks and plays for just $25 a month.
Awesome. Hey, listen, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you today. It's been good seeing you as well.
I appreciate you guys.
Hey,
Nasty, you rock.
Hey,
all right, thanks, guys.
You're the GOAT, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, thanks, brother.
Go Falcons. Go Falcons.
Yeah.
That one hurt a little bit, the Eagles, but
I'm not going to lie to you. Nasty rocked. I think he broke the corner booth record for most curse words in a single podcast.
Nice.
I'll issue
that guy rocks.
I did not warn him beforehand that we are a clean show now. So
no, I loved it. It was raw.
To our sponsors, I have to apologize for my guest's curse words. It is on me for not notifying him we are a clean show now. Our show tag clearly says explicit on it. But we apologize to Candidates, Righteous Felon, and SeatGeek for the amount of curse words. But shout out to Nasty, because he was absolutely insane. I loved every pick he had except for Philadelphia. And we'll go into the 6-pack right now because we got about 5 picks to roll through and I'd say about 20 minutes to do it. This is what it's made about, boys. So first off, we're going back to college, boys, like old school. We're going to USC, Michigan, Big Ten action. It's 5.5. Now, listen, I don't know what to make of Michigan. Okay, I really don't anymore because they get stomped 2 weeks ago by Texas. But yet they're still kind of – or was it last week or 2 weeks ago they got stomped by Texas? Dude. And then they had a bye last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so – they don't look good. They're not even using Donovan Edwards as their primary running back. And he's on the cover of the damn game.
Are they still switching quarterbacks too? Because I think I saw that in the Texas game. Still.
Yeah, there's gonna be an orgy in the end zone. Should be this week. So we'll see.
How long have you been waiting to use that one?
I was waiting I was hoping Nasty would be here when we talk about the Michigan game too, so I could say and see what his reaction was.
He didn't want to touch that one with the 10, but when he did not put that one in his line, I was like, he doesn't want to touch this.
Yeah.
That I was like, you know what? No, I'll let him dictate because I was like, I know we had only about 2 minutes left with him, so I was like, you know what? Let's kill it. But I absolutely love. I got to take USC here. They're at -5 right now, and it's not – I don't like Michigan. I don't care if it's in the big house. It's a 3:30 game, so the hours adjustment is already been taken away. USC knows who they have on offense. They have their strengths, and they're going to play to them. And with college football, and I honestly, next time Nasty comes on, I'll ask him about this if this is something he wants to look into. I got to ask another college betting expert who specializes in this because maybe he'll know better. But you can't just – Michigan looked awful against Texas. Awful. And I don't care if USC might be a little overranked. They probably are. But so is Michigan. So, you know what? Fight on. Give me Trojans on the road. Hector, you love my reaction. What do you got for me?
Yeah, man. Kind of how you're saying, bro. I don't know what to take from Michigan now. I don't like that they're still switching out quarterbacks from Orgy and whoever the other kid is. I forgot his name. I want to say McNamara, but I know that's not right. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of question marks with Michigan, but USC, there is some questions behind USC though. But I feel like that LSU game kind of alleviated some of the concerns that USC fans had, and that was more so the defense that about USC. But I think USC doesn't necessarily have to be like a top. And I mean, college football, you don't have to have a complete shutdown defense. Just stop a few drives. That's all that you really need in college football. Because scoring is just crazy in college football. But I think what we're seeing with Miller Moss is really impressive from USC. I know that their last game that they played wasn't necessarily I think it was like Utah. I think it was Utah State, and I mean, you're supposed to win that game. But this is a good test for them. They needed their first taste of Big Ten football for USC, and yeah, I think right now where Michigan is at, maybe they were able to take some time to reassess going into the bye, but I mean, I'm still pretty confident with the Trojans to get their first Big Ten win.
I love it. All right. So I just checked the books. 76% of bets are on USC, so it's not a full sweep. And the line has already gone down, so it's USC -5. So I'm going to stick with USC, but I think Michigan might cover. Deej, what do you think?
We're gonna respectfully disagree. I'm taking USC to cover. You can crank it up to 9.5. I think USC is going to cover. I think USC is actually ranked right where they should be. I think Miller Moss, and we know what Lincoln Riley does with quarterbacks. I think Moss is right in that next line. Their defense, as Hector's mentioning, they actually play defense this year compared to last year. Not elite, but they actually play it. Michigan's offense, we've already gone over, is a travesty. Their defense is not what it was last year either. It is Will Johnson and one of their defensive tackles, whose name eludes me. I can't remember. The rest of them, they can't get had. You put them in space, they get a little bit lost. Texas did it with their spread offense. USC is going to spread them and get them. Not an explicit warning in full work right there. But I think USC is going to get it. They're going to cover. Take them to win by 10. And on top, they've covered 3 games in a row going back to last year too. I think that continues.
I love it. All right, Nate, your California boys.
Well, he's a Cal fan. He hates USC.
I know. Well, I mean, it's from the same damn state.
That's a big ass state. That doesn't count. That's a country.
We're talking about Berkeley, man. That's like
it's its own communist nation.
They don't want to affiliate themselves with the city of Los Angeles.
All right, Nate, what do you got for the West Coast versus the Midwest?
Yeah, for Michigan, they had, I think, their former quarterback that started was Davis Warren. He threw 6 interceptions. It's 6 interceptions in the first 10 quarters of the season, which is obviously not good. So
that's really awful.
That's why they're switching to Alex Orji. But look, regardless of the quarterback change, even when Orji did play, I hate his last name. I'm sorry. Michigan's offense still didn't really operate as well. And I know USC, their big win was against LSU. Sorry, Chris. Honestly, you guys should have won that game. But at the end of the day, I got USC, man. I mean, Miller Moss is good. I feel like even though it is in the big house of Michigan, should be fine. I think USC should handle this and get the job done.
I love it. All right, Chrissy, finish us strong, brother.
USC is going to strap on that Trojan condom and run through that orgy.
All right, you know what? Chris, you broke the streak. Oh, my God. Perfect
That
timing.
didn't even make any sense remotely.
Oh, my God.
Broke the streak just like he broke the Trojan.
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen.
Is Orgy supposed to play defense?
Chris Felty Box is presented by the amazing people at Righteous Felon Beef Jerky. Promo code BELLYUP for 15% off your order. Honestly, I'm not even mad at Chris. I just had to plug him, so we're going to ring him back in here. Chrissy, good job. That was a good joke. I like that.
Thank you. It wasn't meant to make sense, but I try to be creative.
It doesn't make sense. We got the battle of the geriatric quarterbacks.
No one gets it. It gets the people going.
It gets it, exactly. All right, by the way, speaking of geriatrics, my co-host
Is
took,
geriatric?
I believe, USC, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I wrote down all his picks.
Yeah, USC. All right. Moving on. Battle of geriatrics. I believe the combined age of these two quarterbacks is 49.
Wait, is it confirmed Rising is back?
Yeah, Rising's
He's
playing
expected to
apparently.
play.
Oh man, get your popcorn ready.
This is gonna be a fun game, man.
All
right.
When you have DUI, if you're Gundy.
All right. Hey, Nate, I'm gonna let you take lead on this one, brother. Where are you going?
For when I looked at this game, Ollie Gordon, who is arguably one of the best running backs in college football, has been off to a slow start to start the year, and there's going to be a point in time where he does, turn things around. I feel like this game. I know Cam Rising's coming back, but Alec Bowman for Oklahoma State has done a heck of a job with the passing game. The offense has been great when they're throwing the ball. So, if there's any game for Ollie Gordon to get things going, it's this game against Utah. And with that said, I'm going to go with the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Yes, Lord. All right. By the way, the money is leaning. They're not even showing it right now for this game because it's too far out. All right. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. They're at home. Ollie Gordon, like you said. Also, I don't trust Utah. I don't know where. I picked them to win the Big 12 on Big 10 on Kevin's show, and I'm already regretting it. So, or Big 12. So I apologize. I think this is the first test they really have, and I believe Oklahoma State has been just hanging on against big games, and they're surviving because they're a good football team. Mike Gundy's a good coach. With that being said, give me Oklahoma State to win and cover. Chrissy.
Second that. If they were away, I'd probably pick Utah, but I'm going to roll with Oklahoma State.
I got you, brother. Nate, you went Hector.
That's funny. Oh man, this is an interesting thing because I feel like with Texas and Oklahoma, leaving to go to the SEC, that the question was going to be who's going to be that team that becomes the top dog of the Big 12. And I looked at Oklahoma State. I thought Oklahoma State has always been a very sneaky good team when it comes to football. And I do have some respect for Utah. I know Utah has been the best, from last year, which was just a very physical team, but still has been able to get wins. Nonetheless, still beating Baylor, and I mean, yeah, Baylor is a joke of a football team still, but Utah is also a very physical football team, and that's also kind of when it comes to games that are this tight. When it comes down to it, who can outdog the other one? Which I mean, when you're looking at both these teams are both dog mentality, very physical football teams, aging quarterbacks, which I love to see. But I'm gonna go with Utah. I think Utah can edge it out.
All right. We'll go. Deej, finish this up, and we'll go to roll right into the pros.
Utah wins. They cover. Defensively, they're very sound. Cam Rising plays. They are very tough to beat. So give me Utah.
You know, the U, as many would say.
Utes.
Not even going to react to that.
Hector's penalty box brought to you by Candidates.
No, he isn't a sponsor. That's just disrespectful.
The Utes.
And we're back. All right. Moving to the pros. Nasty broke on it earlier. This game's basically a pick 'em, so you can go either way with this one. Ravens are a 1-point favorite against the Cowboys. Here's my problem with this game. I don't trust the Cowboys at all, but the Ravens' offensive line is atrocious, and the Cowboys have a good pass rush. Smells like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Give me Cowboys to roll. It's going to be close, but I think we're gonna panic meter on Lamar, and I think they're gonna have to go get offensive line help because this is gonna end badly. Deej.
In recent years, Dak has not had 2 back-to-back bad games. He normally bounces back from a bad game with a pretty good one. And the Ravens secondary, outside of Kyle Hamilton, can get had. They are definitely missing the defensive staff that they lost. A lot of the pass rush has slowed down. Give me the Cowboys at home to win this one and basically a pick 'em.
I think the Ravens were that team we overhyped this year.
Not me. I kept them out of the playoffs on a preseason.
Well, I know you did, but like most of us had.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
the addition
Chris,
of Derrick Henry sounds good on paper, but then when you see it in action, it's like, oh, that's a fullback right now.
Yeah, they're not a power eye.
That's Patrick Ricard and darker Patrick Ricard. This isn't going to work.
Mm-hmm. Chrissy?
I hate the Cowboys more than anything in this world, but DJ's
so
right.
Somber. So somber. He's reading a eulogy.
Yeah, I can't because I know he's got the Phillies game on in the background or something, but it's like,
Are we trash again, Chris?
No, I'm actually at the Jets and Pats game.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the service to all of us, keeping the game on.
He's on Matt watch.
Damn, 3rd and 19.
I'll make sure Matt's okay. No, I'm taking the Cowboys. They're like I hate them so much, but that can't have another bad game, especially at home.
No, he cannot. And Chrissy did. I believe Matt took Dallas. Am I right there?
He took the Ravens.
Ooh. Went against his stepfather's team. Oh, boy. All right. Speaking of Texas, Hector, who you got here?
I feel like we could see another kind of similar to week 1 for the Cowboys, right? Where they just played clearly better and the other side was just clearly terrible.
Yeah.
And I want to believe in Lamar, man. I don't know what it is. I just want to believe in him. But it's weird that they're 0-2, man. It really is. I think I wasn't one of those guys that was like the Ravens by any means, but it is kind of weird just to see where this team is at right now. But yeah, I just can't see Dallas having back-to-back terrible performances. I think it's gonna be pretty close, but I still see the Cowboys getting some separation from this game.
Okay. Nate finishes strong here, and we'll roll into Lions cards.
Baltimore has struggled to start the year. I know Dallas just came off a loss themselves. I don't know. I think Derrick Henry should have a day. I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens.
Alrighty. Next game up.
The two Eagles fans picked the Cowboys, and the 2 non-Eagles fans picked the Ravens.
Wait, what?
Well, technically, one non-Eagles fan picked the Cowboys.
Wait, I'm tripping balls right now. Hold on.
Well, there's fun.
The two Philadelphia Eagles fans did pick the Cowboys.
Yeah. Okay.
That was correct.
You should just ended the sentence there.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to understand. Like, where's Chris going with this one?
I don't know, dude. I'm so out of it right now.
You okay, buddy?
Need a doobie.
You need a doobie.
Dang, man.
All right.
Nasty really killed you right there with all his talk about the
He
Eagles.
broke his brain. I think Chris fried his egg a little bit. All right.
My pick's gonna be so bad this week now.
Oh my god! All right, we're moving on. I still haven't picked an upset yet because I'm not going any upsets in this parlay because Matt obviously took the first one. I don't know why the hell he picked against Nebraska, but anyway,
He's gonna hit that too.
He technically
All
picked the
right.
Ravens
Cardinals.
also.
By the way, if you did take the Cardinals, this is considered an upset pick to you two handsome gentlemen who are with me, Nate and Chris. I'm taking the Lions. Give me Motor City Dan Campbell. Listen, McNasty said it best. He's chaotic, he's erratic, and he's crazy. But he also wins football games. And also this team believes in him. That game, if Goff is a half a second earlier on that drop back, they win that game because they were right in the red zone. They were ready to go. Give me the Lions to bounce back here. Cardinals played great last week, but the Rams are just bad. Let's not go crazy here. So give me the Cardinals to get smoked here. Lions will cover and win on the road.
Yeah.
Hector, go.
Look, I'm never not gonna pick again. I'm never picking against Dan Talica. You know, I love that man. I love everything that he stands for. It's also very fitting that Metallica announced that they're extending their tour. So,
Are you serious?
Yeah, and my niece just so happens now is a huge Metallica fan. So
I love it.
So yeah, it's a great day to also be in debt because now I got to find a way to get tickets to go see Metallica for my niece because they're coming to Houston. Anyways, but yes, I'm going with Detroit. I think the Cardinals, though they have looked really good, even in the loss against the Bills, looked pretty impressive, at least at the beginning, but not a great finish on their part. And then the Rams, take it with a grain of salt at the end of the day because the Rams aren't looking too good either. But yeah, the Lions is going to be the real test for the Cardinals, and can they finish it out? And I don't think so. I think Dan Talica takes them out of the game very early.
Did we miss a big game for the six-pack that we just ignored? We totally did. Oh, yeah. We missed Tennessee, Oklahoma.
Uh-oh.
You didn't put it in the six-pack, huh?
I didn't, and I feel like a jackass. But I can pick it as a I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to pick a six. We'll do it as that. If we all house pick it or whatever, we'll throw in the six-pack as a bonus bet. But, yeah, wow. I can't – it wouldn't show up on any of the ranking things. Anyway, we'll keep going. Deej, Motor City Dan Campbell versus your least favorite head coach in the NFL, Mr. Gannon.
I don't mind Gannon. You're the one who hates Gannon more than I do. I don't mind him. I think he's doing a good job in Arizona. I hate the 3-point spread. I would not touch the spread, but I will take the Lions to win outright. I think it's going to be close. I think the Cardinals are legit, but the Lions bounce back. I think if what they need to do is they need to start Jahmyr Gibbs, then bring in David Montgomery. I think they need to flip that because their offense is so much more dynamic when Gibbs is out there. Monty should finish the game and hurt people. Gibbs should help them score points, but that's another.
Gibbs should wear them out cardio-wise. Monty finishes them off physically.
When Gibbs and Jamison Williams are out there, that is terrifying. And then everything is more open for Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra. So my 2 cents, Gibbs should start. But
I'm still kicking myself we didn't touch this Oklahoma versus Tennessee game.
Spoiler, that was my upset pick. So.
Well, hey, listen, there you go. So we're moving on to our final six-pack game.
Oh, half of us didn't go yet.
I'm just kidding. Chrissy, Motor City Dan. I wanted to see if you were paying attention, brother. Motor City Dan Campbell, brother. Who you taking, Chrissy?
I'm taking the Lions, brother.
Goddamn right. All right, Nate, finish us off here.
Yeah, Detroit. Come on now. Amon-Ra, big game coming up. And Jared Goff, please bounce back, baby, from my fantasy team. Thank you.
Hey, listen, you ain't wrong there. All right, we are gonna roll into this game. Nasty took his pick. He took the Saints to cover and win. Deej, I'll start with you. Where are you going?
I hate this game. I hate the spread, but we're going to take the Saints reluctantly because I need Chris Olave to cook for my fantasy team, and it's his turn. And I am worried about the Eagles' ability to – they get pressure in the top 7 of the NFL, but they have 2 sacks. They don't get home as much as they need to. They get close, but no cigar. So taking the Saints, but kind of reluctantly.
All right, Hector.
Yeah, I'm going with the Saints here, man. Philadelphia hasn't looked great. and I'm kind of curious as who's going to stop either Alvin Kamara or Derek Carr from getting the ball to Rashid.
All right. Nathan.
You know, the Saints offense has turned it around this year. Gary Kubiak has done an excellent job.
Clint Kubiak.
Sorry, Clint Kubiak.
Gary Kubiak almost died on the sideline a decade ago.
Oh, thank you, DJ. So Clint Kubiak, right? Did I say it right? Clint Kubiak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak. Excellent job with Derek Carr. Rashid Shaheed as a speedster. But we just saw the Eagles, what they had to go through on Monday night. Saquon's going to come back with a vengeance. Jalen Hurts, same way. Devontae Smith will have a big game as well. Give me the fly, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Give you the fly, Eagles, fly.
Give me a Philadelphia.
Give him the fly, Eagles.
Hey, I don't give a fudge. My team's 0-2. I need someone to root for.
My team's 0-2, but you still don't see me cheering for the Titans.
That's because your quarterback looks like camping drunk off.
Bro, he literally started this show doing the JETS, Jets. Now he's doing the fly, Eagles, fly.
Listen, Nate.
I can sing it if you want me to.
Nate
fly, Eagles, fly.
Hey, hold on, buddy. We're good. All right, Chrissy. Who does Matt have?
Matt is taking the Eagles. We're going unanimous here.
All right, we're going clean sweep for the show, apparently, for you. Gotta go with Birds?
Gang, Bird Gang. You know what the hell it is.
Why did he look so? Why was he look like he was questioning whether everybody was picking the Eagles?
Yeah, well, come on, now. Y'all know what it is. You can't go against them. You can't. I'm sorry. Listen, I could go for hours about how that game against Atlanta was our Philly blows. I've said it 1,000 times. Every year, the Eagles have a game when this only happens when they're a good team. When they're going to go deep in the playoffs. When they're a terrible team, that happens every other week. But when they're on a better trajectory for the season, every year there is one of these losses, and this was our loss. Everything went wrong. We abandoned the run when Saquon was butchering them on the ground. Jahan Dotson wasn't there. Johnny Wilson, I don't even know if he was on the field or not. Dallas Goedert had one catch into the fourth quarter, and Devontae Smith didn't get his first catch into the second quarter. Bryce Huff looks like me rushing the passer right now. It was an atrocious game. One thing I know about this Eagles roster, besides that abysmal and pitiful performance towards the end of last season, this team knows how to bounce back. Give me Philadelphia to win here. Clean sweep for the corner booth boys on the Birds. And finally, upsets and gimmies. But we're going to start off. Nathan, in honor of you, my handsome friend, we have our first house upset of the year. Y'all know the rules. We're all taking one team. If it hits, we get a point. So, house upset of the week, we're giving them as Cal to knock off FSU in Tallahassee. -2.5. I love the +2.5 for Cal for the odds. We're going to take money line straight. So there you go, boys. House upset.
Yeah, because those MFers go, oh, can shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. This is bear fucking territory.
Nate's fired up right now.
This is bear territory.
Wait, how do they go? How does FSU go again?
Our hatred of FSU in this program is very well documented.
What's funny is I just finished watching I rewatched the 30 for 30 of the University of Miami.
Yeah,
and Ed Reed talking smack about the
That's where I got it from, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Uncle Ed. All right.
More like Uncle Luke, but all right.
Well, we all the Miami fans, we call him Uncle Ed because he's Ed Reed. But anyway, upsets to Gimmy's time. I believe Matt's the only one who took an upset in the six-pack.
Yeah,
so me, Nate, and Chris have to go hunting. DJ and Hector,
I got one.
You got one. Okay, Nate.
My name's Chris.
I'm just messing with you.
I don't know. Hopefully this works, but I'm taking Mississippi State +6.5 at home.
That's the winner. That's good.
Versus Florida.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There we go, big boy. Let's go. I still haven't picked one yet. Nate, do you have an upset to roll with yet?
Yes. Rice +7 over Army.
Rice plus I love it. I love it. All right. Deej, you
you
had
hate
one you
America?
kind of mentioned halfway already.
Man, screw the Army. I hate playing with them in Dynasty.
You
Motherfucker.
hate America, you love
Wow.
Rice.
Damn, what?
He
Who
just said,
fixed his
screw
Cheerios,
the
man? He's
Army.
They
pissed off right
suck,
now.
bro. I can't play with them for
Screw the
crap.
Army.
Dude, they
Wow.
suck in
Oh.
Dynasty.
I mean,
condone.
I can say screw the Army, but that's for other reasons.
I don't condone.
Wow,
Yeah, you don't get to
said
say that.
screw
You're not
the
allowed.
Army.
I support my troops.
I do too, but in damn
I don't know,
Dynasty,
man.
they suck.
Young
Like,
Waku would not stand for this.
bro, Cuzzo, he's chill me, man. I talked to him the other day.
Bro,
That's
they're
it.
literally
I
just a
wouldn't
triple
say.
option offense. What did you expect?
I don't give a
He
fuck.
tried to throw
so
four verts with him. That's why he didn't.
Damn right.
Yeah,
Damn
they
right
don't,
I
they
did.
don't have a quarterback.
I
Well,
tried. I tried to make him good, man. He sucks. Screw that team, man. Even
While
Navy's
Jared is
better,
searching,
bro.
upset alert: Oklahoma 6.5 at home against Tennessee. They find a
Not
way
like
to cover the spread.
any of these like college lines, like all the good ones were taken. So I'm gonna have to do an NFL one, which I hate doing.
You can take the Oklahoma one.
I'm gonna hate
6.5
myself.
against Tennessee.
I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. I'm not touching that Tennessee Oklahoma game. That game scares the daylights out of me.
No bounds.
I don't like any of these. You know what? Fine. Give me the commies upset over the Bengals.
You don't believe that?
I got nothing else to shoot at this point. I
Take
have
Southern
no.
Florida.
What?
Take Southern Florida. They're plus 17.
I hate you so much right now. Go away. The amount of smack they're talking about the Hurricanes this week on social media, Miami beat them by 40.
Have you seen our show? Kelsey's done nothing but praise the Hurricanes.
No, how much USF has been talking about.
Oh, I thought you said you. When you said you, I heard the proverbial.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no,
wait a
no,
minute.
no.
Like,
All
hold
right.
on now, guy.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Commanders. It's a borderline. The line shifted like 4 times. It'll probably go back up to being over the 4.5 at the home. Either way, I'll roll with it. If it ain't disputes at the end of the year, it'll be a tiebreaker breaker. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. I had
an upset in the game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go,
Hey,
Hector.
We just mess with you.
Going to some footy. My gimme is Atletico Madrid beating Rayo Vallecano in La Liga, and I upset. I'm taking Arsenal over Manchester City.
Hector, you're a real
He went straight at Chris.
soccer fan,
Not
bro.
happening.
Screw college football, bro. We don't need.
Not happening.
We want the real
love it.
football. The
All right.
football.
Not happening.
Well,
All
hey,
right, listen.
careful. I don't want to affiliate myself with the Screw Army guy.
All right, gentlemen.
They hate the troops.
It has been an amazing show today. Shout out to
It's
our friend
America.
Nasty at Nasty Sports. Shout out to our boys Nate and Chris for picking up the slack.
Oh
for
my
Matt.
God! I hit first touchdown.
Who was it?
Lazard.
No way, Chris! What? Chris! Let's go!
I'm betting on
Fun
air.
fact:
All right,
they
folks,
used to
I
play
do have
together
to
at Green
run.
Bay.
I do have to run. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow our boy Hector at all things insert name FC Hector. Show coming out this week, correct?
Came out today.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you can follow DJ and Kelsey that dropped a live show last night. I believe it's already out on iTunes and Spotify as well. You can go check them out, all things High-Low Sports. You can follow Nate at 3rd and 10 and also at Corner Booth Pod. And I believe Nate_win24. You can follow me and Chris at Corner Booth Pod as well as me at Corner Booth Jared. Chrissy, thank you for giving us some optimism for the weekend as we go into the weekend.
Let's go.
Chris, did you know that
boys,
Lazard and
we're
Aaron
on a
Rodgers played
heater.
together in the Packers?
All right.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. All right, gentlemen, we're about to roll out of here. Shout out to our sponsors, candidates.com, SeatGeek, and Righteous Felon. We will see you guys on Monday. We're back on Monday shows next week, folks,
Love you guys.
for our review of this week. Go Birds.